Yo, yo, Christoph St. John back from Jam Rock with another one live here in Canada. I'm just stocking up my cabin for the winter with some goods and items to be as self sufficient as possible for the fall, winter, and spring seasons. Now, the title of this vlog is Global Economic Recession Exposed. Now, before we get into that, I just want to go into a side note. DJ Khaled just dropped his new album titled God Did. And I have to say that the boys from Jamrock had the best track on the album, hands down. Now, eternal sound wars have been going on since the beginning of time, and the global menopause marked after COVID and the raging forest fires gave spark to the war in Russia and the global economic uncertainty. Now, aside from the sound wars going on in America and Jamaica, with Jamaica taking the victory hands down, we now see that the airways have been locked down with good music in Jamaica, yet America's still flopping on that end. But we won't get into that because that's a whole different picture, and we can deal with, Satan for creating his army of resilient musicians and artists to help keep promoting sanity in a mad world. Now, the DJ Khaled lineup has a few members of Illuminati and Freemason lodges as well, but that's also another side note. Now, before we get into the topic of this vlog, I'm going to play a quick new track from Busy Signal. Over there with Linky First, boss over there. Over at Jam Rock there, sir. Yo, this one called Ground. I mean, if you lift up the right for them, to this one, yo. This one's Sight. Sight already, dog. You know, see it? Watch this one here. I'm going to play this. Then I'm going to get some drinks. I got a new shipment of my franchise Excess Energy drinks in. I'm just trying out a new tropical flavor here. If you want to check out my site, we've got a whole line of health and nutrition and beauty products all stocked up in warehouses across North America for easy shipping and handling. Go to www.oracleent.ca. Go to Browse Products, click on that button. It'll get you to another link, and then you can browse hundreds and thousands of products online at your fingertips. They're quality, all organic products grown on organic farms as well. Now, before we get into the topic of this video, I'm going to play this quick track. I'm going to bun up a little spliff ting, have a little Tempranillo Spain red wine, and then pop up one of my excess energy drinks over here from my franchise. But before that, check out this one from Busy Signal, yo. This one's fire! Blood fire!
Why get you bad? Never get you bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all Linky First. Call the pop out, call the verse. Run. Them are no action. Back at them, but them are run. Gorillas pull up on your hands and they feel a lock down. Me tell them I'm ready, so don't make me jump in me gun. Life I go down. Hey, you're busy. When the chop of them at the road, the chop of the road. Couple gun off the roll, for me gun off the roll. Couple lead off the roll, the Drake like you right, but you bring every load. We have Finelli, Helltech, Keltec, no ramp with the L-Tech. Scope to them a dead check, them dead stretch. Express, double chop on a press press. Shut up a place with a guess. Link up with them, call me and I'm a mix. Send them a funeral, but me no kill a girl. Me no friend killer, me kill criminal. Rifle a squeeze left them critical. Boy bad fly next to them pretty girl. Chop for the berry top, chill them shoot. Not dress like Erica, John Wick or Predator. Why are them not ready for? Shot make them dip like when people get dashed out from America. Yes. Hey, them are no action, pack at them, not them a run. One more. Gorillas pull up on your hands and they feel a lock down. See the killie? Me tell them I'm ready, so don't make me traffic me gun. Linky, life I go down. Hey, Linky, top speed at top speed. When the trigger find the gun, when the gorilla squeeze. Special ops, Navy SEAL from the Black Seas. To play your dudes, pussy slap, lip and chat speech. Like Siamese, double mud shutting down seas. So much wall, you think I mesh marina, make your white teeth. Stuck with so much gun, them take the factory when I say don't pan. They never say the time me gun without the jump on. Man shot to them face, man talk on a chest. Wait, send it up into them wig. Why get you rest? Wait, it felt like a drone. That's why some pussy can't go wrong with. Headshot alone. Don't get that spray like color from the browning. Them are no action. Back on them, put them around. Gorillas pull up by your hands and they feel a lock down. Me tell them I'm ready, so don't make me traffic me gun. Life I go down. Run. Them are no action, back at them, put them around. Gorillas pull up by your hands and they feel a lock down. Me tell them I'm ready, so don't make me traffic me gun. Life I go down.
Yo, that was from Busy Signal and Linky first over there on Jam Rock, dog. Them a fire up the music on the scene, dog. You know, sit, dog. Rotted. My back foot. Anyway, if y'all were not aware of the events leading up to the war in Ukraine, let me break it down for you. Now, a couple years before the war broke out, Russia was hit hard with COVID. Now, soon after, they had the world record breaking amount for accumulated forest fires in one country, demolishing ample amounts of forests in Russia. Now, this went under the radar seemingly, but those who were keeping track were able to find this one out because they did leak it on many sources, including the ones that were global. Now, soon after, they reported a depleting oil supply and were unable to support their buyers with the required amounts of oil necessary for world trade after COVID. Now, after being hit with those things, Putin decided to invade Ukraine to conquer more land after his land was hit with 3 years of desolation and hardships. Now, the main purpose for the war was crude oil. It has been recently leaked that Russia can no longer supply Europe with oil needed to power its vehicles. Europe is now looking to make deals with Africa through extended pipelines to gather their crude oil resources and supplies. Now, pinpointing the reason for a global recession is a fairly simple macroeconomics calculation. Now, to first calculate this, you need to locate the global economy itself. So once you locate the global economy, you can pinpoint the reason for its demise. And as of 2022, the world's global economy revolves around crude oil. Now, this means that there is no stable infrastructure or occupation because our number one source of economic stability comes from crude oil. To have a self-sufficient and sustainable society and world, our number one source for infrastructure stability would have to be agriculture. This is because as humans, our main needs are food and water. As soon as food and water do not become our number one on the list, we run into an automatic risk of global recession. Now, the governments have put the 99% of civilians in a position where crude oil is now more precious than food and water. And this is because without that crude oil for transportation, that same 99%, you and I would have no food nor water. And since we're running into a decade where we're running out of crude oil, we're also seeing a simultaneous economic recession. And the only solution is a full blown revolution. Burning crude oil poses its threat to the ecosystem and the climate as it is, not to mention the pollution into the atmosphere. Transitioning to biofuel burning vehicles will mark the beginning of the revolution as it solves both our fuel crisis and also our massive waste crisis as well. As our second highest economic struggle to date is waste disposal. The government has put civilians in a vice grip because now both food and waste disposal relies solely on crude oil production. And since our crude oil reserves are deplenishing, so is our ability to proper feed the world and dispose of its waste. Now, this is toppled with a teetering housing market and an all-time debt high for the World Bank and Federal Reserves. All coming after COVID and the midst of a war and drought in Europe and Asia. So to say the least, we are entering the beginning of World War III. But unlike any other war, this war will not be fought in the trenches. This war will be fought in the streets. This war marks the first time in history that it is no longer country versus country. Yet instead, it is now civilian versus government. Only with unity will we, as the civilians, see victory. Because if not for a sustainable and self-sufficient movement, we, as the 99%, will face the threat of chaos in the streets due to complete governmental collapse. And when the government can no longer promise gas in the tanks, food on the shelves, or money in the banks, then we will truly see everyone for themselves, or have the choice to band together and reclaim our freedom and self-sufficiency from the government. 2022 marks the beginning of World War III. Us versus the government. Pick your side. It's only politics, right? Make sure at the end of the day, you're striving to create a self-sustainable community chain for essential goods and services, both perishable and non-perishable, that does not rely on the government alone. Now, for more information and updates on the movement, visit us at www.oracleent.ca/UNIA for the Universal Negro Improvement Association, started by Marcus Garvey. And also check out the Pan-African Sustainability Movement under the PASM tab on the Oracle website. The Oracle page is www.oracleent.ca. That's oracleent.ca. And you can research what we have going on with the union and other updates, as well as self-sustainable and self-sufficient real estate tips and ideas, as well as connections with those needing or looking to get solar power, water cisterns for self-sufficient water use, water filters for ionization and alkalization. And also with the solar powers, you can build a garden and a forest with fruits and vegetables with ample space and ability in any climate. Now with tips and tricks to how to do that, as well as connections on being a self-sustainable community, with ample amount of products at your fingertips, all grown from organic herbs and gardens and fruits and vegetables. Please check us out at www.oracleent.ca. Now, thanks for tuning in for another vlog. And I hope you finish the year strong. Happy autumn and prepare for ample blessings for the new year. Stay tuned for more content, and for events and info, check out our website. I will add it to the top of my channel along with my Instagram link and the call to action book. Now, thank you as well for joining in. This is Christophe St. John, back from Jamrock, tuning in Canada. I'll tune you out with another clip here of a Kabaka Pyramid song called Borders. I'll check this one out real quick.
Each human being deserves a place to call their own. Yet so many have to journey far from home. Little children in the darkness all alone, seeking freedom. It's about time we break those borders down. There's too much segregation. We're all a part of one nation. Yeah. We need to break those borders down. There's too much separation. We're all one in creation, yeah. Hey, what do you feel when you see those ugly faces? People of all ages locked up in our cages, without a home, much less salaries and wages, traveling for days in the desert to escape it, only to get denied by the ones that should have rectified. Now the people get desensitized to the refugees, them way unidentified, yeah. They deserve a place to call their own, yet so many have to journey far from home. Little children in the darkness all alone, seeking freedom. It's about time we break those borders down. There's too much segregation. We're all a part of one nation, yeah. We need to break those borders down. There's too much separation. We're all one in creation, yeah. Hey. After them selfish decision, we're the one who suffer most. Political violence and now all we do ghost. The war and starvation, knife and hang up in a throat. Refugees overpopulation becomes the antidote. We deserve the earth as a home, life is worth a living. Mr. Willpower, please break all the borders down for the future children. Stoneboy and Kabaka say they deserve a place to call their own, yet so many have to journey far from home. Little children in the darkness all alone, seeking freedom. It's about time we break those borders down. There's too much segregation. We're all a part of one nation, yeah. We need to break those borders down. There's too much separation. We're all one in creation, yeah. Hey, what do you feel when you see those people laughing, digging through the garbage while you live in lavish? What if life was a school without no classes, learning from each other with no teachers and no bosses? Yet the system gets intensified, and all the cities getting gentrified. Poor people existence denied, but the Rasta man come here so to testify, yeah, that we deserve a place to call our own. Yet so many have to journey far from home. Little children in the darkness all alone, seeking freedom. It's about time we break those borders down. There's too much segregation. We're all a part of one nation, yeah. We need to break those borders down. There's too much separation. We're all one in creation, yeah.
Just a reminder for all those UNIA members, we have our Million Man March commemorative Zoom meeting coming up this Saturday, I believe. Yes, October 15th at 7 p.m. That's the Million Man March anniversary Zoom conference online. You can register at the oracleent.ca/UNIA page. You'll be able to scroll down and see where you can register for that Zoom. You would have to either have an existing Zoom account or create a free Zoom to be able to interact with the speakers and the guests as well. If not, we might be able to stream it live for you on Facebook. So keep posted on our Facebook page as well. But for now, at the Million Man March, you can go to Million Man March on Facebook or go to the oracleent.ca site under the UNIA tab. Register there. It's free to register, free to attend. We'll have a great lineup of speakers, a great event going on. The topic will be the war on hip hop and black youth. Now, as many of you know, that many of these hip hop record labels and organizations are tied into political agendas, and they promote certain type of artists to get a certain type of demeanor out there for a certain projection to gentrify the communities and the black communities and so on and so forth with the prison ties and the governmental corporations and conglomerates. But that's a whole different topic, and that can be a whole another video on itself. But with that being said, the topic of this Saturday's meeting and conference is the war on hip hop, the war on black culture, and the war on black youth, as it is coming forward that we know that the United Nations has put out the Agenda 2030, and right now they're on track to be nowhere near completing what they've put out on their agenda by 2030 or nowhere near close 2030. So, since the government has now proven itself to be unable to make its citizens sustainable and self sufficient, we now as citizens have to make ourselves self sufficient and sustainable for our own selves and our own communities. And since no one is actively doing that in the community, especially the ones that are leading the hip hop community with all the influence, we now have to band together as the youth and the ghetto youth together around them to build ourselves up with our own communities and hopefully one day reach those people that they can give their influence over to us as well so we can band together and be sustainable as one unit. Because without that, we're doomed and we'll just be teetering and tottering until the wheels fall off. And then it's just going to be like all the movies are going to come true, and then it's going to be like The Walking Dead out there with the zombies, and we're gonna be eating roadkill, and like hillbillies are gonna be taking over the world, and oh boy, it's gonna be madness out there. Anyways, before that happens, we have to band together and become self-sufficient and sustainable, so that we can prevent them things from happening. Because I'm telling you, when them hillbillies start eating roadkill, you know that Donald Trump has a chance of becoming president again in 2024. And if Donald Trump has a chance of becoming president again in 2024 after being impeached and having a subpoena on him against him, then the American system might as well forfeit. And then we might as well just go take over their land anyways. So keep posted on our site because we have a lot of leaks coming in from insiders we have on the government over there. I can't drop names too many, but we have some insiders in the White House as we speak in there right now, unless they're sleeping, which they might be sleeping, so they might be at their house. But when they go to work, they're going to be working at the White House. So we have insiders in there, so we'll be able to connect with them and kind of get their viewpoint and where things are kind of headed and what trajectory the government is going towards, and how the ones at the top in the leadership are ignorant to what's really going on at the bottom. So with that being said, keep an eye out for the 2024 election in and around November 5th in 2024. Because if Donald Trump even has a chance to run again for president for the Republican Party against Joe Biden or someone else, then we might as well start anarchy in America because there's no other hope for their democracy at that point. And it's a free for all for America. So before that happens, we as other countries, since I'm currently living in Canada, I was in America at one point, but I'm currently living in Canada. We as other countries around America have to make ourselves sustainable before America does to themselves because they're looking like they'll never become sustainable ever unless we do it for them. So we have to now make ourselves sustainable, get our community sustainable, and then penetrate America. And my focus right now is Pan African diaspora in America because that's my distant relatives. So since I'm going after my distant relatives first and foremost, which I encourage all of us to do, whoever's watching this, whatever background you're coming from, go after your distant relatives first and foremost. And then once you take care of your distant relatives, then you can start expanding and expanding out in the community and becoming more and more diverse, right? So that's what the Pan African Sustainability Movement is about. Oracle ENT is designed to help minorities globally strive towards self sufficiency. That's our whole purpose and vision. And we do that with connecting people to the right venues, avenues, and mediums for them to accomplish what they need to accomplish within their respected budget, right? So they can become self sustainable for their communities and their families, and so on and so forth, until we reach the globe. And eventually, we have some projects coming up with Oracle ENT. Like one I'll leak with you right now because we're working with a conglomerate right now in Houston, Texas. I can't drop too many names, but with Chris and Oren and Blair and Micah down there in Houston, Texas, we're dropping. It's a cash app, and it's designed to be partnered with hundreds and hundreds of merchants internationally using this app with a specific cryptocurrency that's also designed to have a congruent physical currency attached to it, which would make it the first of its kind to have something that you can go out and take out from a bank and spend equal or greater or lesser than the cryptocurrency itself value, which is still accepted at the merchants that the cryptocurrency is also accepted at. Now, these are called e-chips and chips. And the only catch is that the chips themselves, which will be circulated, will be made out of, wait for it. All right, I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to tell you guys. All right, I'm going to take a break, then I'm going to tell you guys. All right, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to have some more of this wine. I've got a bottle from Tempranillo, Spain. I'm going to pour out some more wine. Then I'm going to have a little bottle of this wine. Have a little more excess. Maybe I got to put another spliff. And then I'll leak to you what these coins and bars are going to be made of, spending congruently with the cryptocurrency translating in through an algorithm, at a fractional rate of about 3 to 3.5% over 3 to 3.5% dually. Now, I'll leak that as soon as I pour out some more wine. I'll tell you what these things are made of because this is groundbreaking as well as the New World Order that I'm about to leak with you with the other engine conversions for the takeover of the Rothschilds family conglomerate empire of oil and repossessing those and turning it into biofuel and turning it in the gas stations into biofuel stations and so on and so forth. But I'll take a break. I'll play some tunes and then we'll come back and then I'll leak what's going on with the cryptocurrency new formula. But yo, let me see what's good. Uh, let's see. I don't know what to play. I'll play a song. Uh, let's see. Uh,
From your father got in your part, everything go on. Yeah. I mean that. The Lord of my light and my salvation. I shall not fear no waste man, bad mind in the bumbo clad friend. Look at this with God. Nobody know what to me, no change. That's why me tell me God. Pretend like the real genuine. Can't catch you with the island of rock, not fear none of them chop. And I can't be back. Prayers up, blessings are flow like any river. Not this busy chica. Prayers up, can't trip me with no weed and liquor. If on the money you not see them, if you not you not see them, somewhere say them on your friend. And your friend feel where you give them. Switch like light, but that blade that we kill him. Eruption, build vibe, me a vibe too. I read it when you find out that you can't give me real. And that thing with them shit I try to tarnish me name. But I oh God bless and ways and gon' wait if them feel said them get to them go can't in a sin. So can we see we God? Feel like nobody know what to me no day. That's why me tell me God. Pretend like the real and genuine. Can't catch me with the island of rock, not fear none of them chop. And I got be back. Prayers up, blessings are flow like any river. Not this busy chica. Prayers up, can't trip me with no weed and liquor. He like the idea now, all of you, one fuck up. Close friend gun punk program, a slut in mouth run like boss. Everything and up, them can't tame them bro. Feel a piece of bread, them take side link up. You need a friend, we don't get the info. Nine of them, two side swing so. Like weed and blend, I saw them fucking mix up. Watch you kill them. Smoke and rest with God. Feel like nobody know what to me no day. That's why me tell me God. Pretend like the real and genuine. Can't catch me with the island of rock, not fear none of them chop. And I gotta be back. Prayers up, blessings are flow like any river. Not this busy chica. Prayers up, can't trip me with no weed and liquor. If on the money you no see them, if you not you no see them, somewhere say them on your friend. And your friend feel where you give them. Switch like light, but that blade that we kill him. Eruption, build vibe, me a vibe too. I read it when you find out that you can't give me real. That thing with them shit I try to tarnish me name. But I oh God bless and ways and gon' wait if them feel said them get with them go can't in the scene. Smoke and rest with God. Feel like nobody know what to me no day. That's why me tell me God. Pretend like the real and genuine. Can't catch me with the island of rock, not fear none of them chop. And I gotta be back. Prayers up, blessings are flow like any river. Not this busy chica. Prayers up, can't trip me with no weed and liquor.
All right, so back to the cryptocurrency and e-chips. Now, the way it works is, say you're going to Walmart and you spend $100 and you get a certain percentage back on the Cash app as rewards, cash rewards. Now, these go and they bank up toward your cryptocurrency value each time you spend at your local merchant. And then when you go around to the other merchant that's also connected with us, you can now either redeem those points to purchase something in store or go to one of our locations, cash out those points for physical coins and bars, take those physical coins and bars to that merchant and pay that merchant with the physical coins and bars. Now you're probably wondering, how is this going to be possible? Well, the physical bars and coins we're using are base metal bullions. Now, if you do your research on what base metal bullions are, you can probably find some at your local bank. If your bank still offers that, you can go and ask them, I'd like to purchase some gold coins or some silver coins or some gold bars or some silver bars. And they will probably be able to direct you to where you need to go to get that done. So now, since we're using another base metal bullion, we are integrating that into the same chain of current base metal bullions and having those be redeemable at our choice of local and international merchants, creating a sustainable chain of merchants that still use a base metal bullion backed currency, which would put our merchants and our new stock market ahead of the Dow Jones, TSX, and NASDAQ companies and conglomerates. Now, this would take over from the current stock markets, making our new conglomerate and new stock market, the new leading sustainable group of businesses and companies in the world, creating us as the new sustainable bar and reaching goal for other companies and other stock markets around the world. Now, the coins and base metal bullions will be made of none other than smeltered guns, ammos, and engines. Now, first, smeltered guns. We can touch on gun violence, but that one speaks for itself. So, the only way to physically get the guns off of the streets and have them not go back into the hands of the government or cartels is to none other than smelter them and the ammo and turn them into a base metal bullion, redeemable at our local merchants and international merchants, congruent with a cryptocurrency based rewards program through an application on your smart device. Now, that's one. The guns and the ammo get smeltered down into the base metal bullions. Two, the engines from the engine conversions from our other conglomerate company, with the biofuel engine conversions on your regular car. Say you're driving a Hyundai Sonata and you want the engine converted into a biofuel engine. We do an engine swap for you, and your old engine gets smeltered into the mix for the base metal bullion coin program and bar program that we use for our hundreds and hundreds of local and international merchants, redeemable at our patent banks that can be spent congruent with your chip currency crypto spending account at these local rewards programs all around the world. Now, Bitcoin has Bitcoin ATMs, but they are faulty because one Bitcoin would cost way more than the ATM even has stocked up in money. So you wouldn't be able to redeem one Bitcoin worth of money anyways. So there's not really a point in having a Bitcoin ATM anywhere. So that's why the Bitcoin idea hasn't fully gone over, because they don't have a congruent physical product along with it. The only way to make that happen and possible is to have a physical congruent product like a base metal bullion, which is seamable and interchangeable with all the other base metal bullions. And since it is currently technically considered a base metal, then with the proper documentation, it will be accepted as a base metal bullion, especially with the target of getting guns and gun violence off the streets. So it's virtually a foolproof installment that our conglomerate is currently working on pushing forward to the government, which is why we're working on contacting some of the leaks in there to get the right stage in front of the right people. But right now, the right people aren't in the right stage, so we are now having to build our end up to make it presentable to a whole wide variety of possible candidates for the next presidential election in 2024. So, with that being said, keep an eye out at www.oracleent.ca. Again, that's www.oracleent.ca. Check out all the pages on there. Give them a look over. Give them a once over. Give them a once over. And the specific ones I'm talking about are the Shop and Save tab, which at the bottom has the explanation of the chips and the e-chips I explained to you about the smeltered guns, getting the guns off the street, no more guns, the gun violence, reducing it by taking the guns and giving the people back gold, which is virtually what we're doing. It's like, hey, give us your guns, give us your ammo, and we'll give you gold that you can spend at Walmart. You know, it's foolproof. It's like giving people free weed. It's like, here, I'll give you free weed. You can do whatever you want with it, but I'll give it to you. It's foolproof, right? Especially with the engines and the crude oil crisis. Hey, if you want to get rid of the garbage in the seas and the oceans, we'll smelter your garbage down and turn it into biofuel. Convert your vehicle's engine so you can now burn the biofuel from the waste that you were once putting in the oceans, and now put it through a filtration system that filters it through, making it way cleaner than any type of crude oil, burning it through, added it with ethanol from corn and organic waste, making your vehicle now running off the waste that we were once putting out in the ocean and other places, making it a one cycle through, which is why the pyramids were there with the Ankh from Africa and Ethiopia. But that's a whole different video on a whole other topic. So I won't get into that tonight because that's a prophecy about the dollar bill in America with the pyramid and the eye, which is why the capstone on the pyramid and the dollar bill, if you have a dollar bill at home, you can look at it. The capstone on the pyramid is not touching the other bricks on the pyramid. The capstone is like this, and the rest of the pyramid is down here. When in reality, the prophecy says that the New World Order will be sealed with the seal of Solomon once the new currency is made with the capstone on the pyramid. That orders in and ushers in the New World Order, right? But that's a whole Freemason and Illuminati, secret that I just leaked. But unless you're a 33rd and past degree Mason, you wouldn't know the follow up of what I would have gone into. So, for that being said, I'll leave you with that. Check out the oracleent.ca website. Stay posted with new events coming up. Again, we have an event coming up on Saturday, October 15th at 7 p.m. Hundreds of thousands of people may be possibly on there, so I don't know if we're going to flood Zoom or not. But we're also going to try and have it live on Facebook. So register when you can. I know people have been registering already. The original post was probably made in what is it, October now? I'd say maybe June or July. I don't know, June or July or August. So people have been registering since then. So if you haven't registered already, register now. I know I'm not marketing my page right now because we're not at the stage to market it yet because we're still waiting for the election to pass through so we can target our specific audience to our specific message to get to the right people to lay this in and plant the seed. So for right now, check out the Oracle website. If you need any products, there are hundreds and thousands of products at your fingertips at the Oracle website. You can check out health and nutrition products, home and bath and body and beauty products. You name it, we've got it. Check it out. It's there. Fingertips, fast delivery, expedited delivery if you need it, right to your doorstep, discreet. And the rest is all simple. And if you are also looking for a water ionizer for alkaline water, we have those too at the AI page for Alkaline International. And we have Chanson water ionizers because they say with a 9.5 pH water, it can virtually take those acidic cells in your body that cause and spread diseases and basically destroy them and revert your blood and alkaline pH system to something that is more alkaline, meaning that you would get rid of the majority of diseases and viruses that would have attacked your immunity system otherwise while drinking regular water. So they've proven that alkaline water is one of the most beneficial waters to drink to try and stay as healthy as possible. Now, I'll leave you with that for now. Again, thank you for tuning in for this vlog. Again, this is Christophe St. John. Again, here from Canada, near Toronto. I know Drake's just down the road. I don't know if he sold his house over here next door or he went down to California or what, but a lot of people are in California now too. I don't know, Once this thing passes over with the election, I'll probably move back down to America. I'll keep you guys posted on that, but we'll be doing tours and going to lounges and bars and clubs and having venues and events and fundraisers, galas, nonprofit banquets, whole deal, art galleries and everything. So we'll be doing a lot of nonprofit organizational work when we're down there. But for now, I'll leave you guys out with another track. And this is one time for some alkaline water here in Jamaica. I'll get me some alkaline water, yo. All right. One love, one love, one love. This is Christophe St. John. Oh, and if you have Instagram, add me on Instagram too, yo. It's over on the top of the link on my channel. But if not, it's Christophe St. John 999. That's KRISTOFFSTJOHN 999. That's Instagram. But keep me on that link. Check out the Oracle ENT link. And one love from Rasta Livity. One love, one truth, one heart. This is Lionheart out. One love coming from Canada. And yo, say we great, dog.
Once more, see, flying high. And you know it's a rare one, it's a rare one. Can't deny, yeah. Celebrate. Teach you to make them. Let them learn to make we elevate. I want them to tell them I should go to the year we celebrate. Man, I want everybody make them know your man, so we great. One thing we make them know. We don't want the story no more of him. We don't want to jail out, speed and go. We don't want to go this way. Conscious, come down to principle where you know that I must. Tell me man, you learn skill from stimulus. The journey only lasts when a human give up. If you can't take you, boy, think it's surplus. One thing me know, me have to fulfill me purpose. So we ready. Teach you to make them, show them the way I make we elevate. I want them to tell them I should go with me, we celebrate. Man, I want everybody make them know your man, so we great. We are make them know. How is it for you, but still with full potential? Wait up, if we fix up back with mental. Spread up to one another because that is essential. Have control over with destiny, so presidential. Copy that the topic 2 years don't get like it. So and so, XYZ, RAC, I will catch it. The capability, the attitude, the great. We watch it. And now when you're on, you're not taking my sheet. I need to get that when I'm shine tea. The line man never look at and stay find me key. And so man, I tell you, say them can't do this, you know me. Everyone afraid of feeling, never try to tell us a free. I tell him one the master, just know that you see. Well, I time I play, feel every day, every and every time, get that game on your feet. I said, so we great. Teach you to make them, let them learn to make we elevate. I want them to tell them I should go with you, yeah, we celebrate. Man, I want everybody get together, don't you segregate. One thing we make them go, alright.